Today, what should we talk about? So today, I actually went to Sandra's class yesterday at the farm, a nice gentle flow in the morning, and you might have seen a post that she put up about like just being yourself, being true to yourself, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. You know, that phrase came to mind when she was talking about the philosophy of the class, that, you know, what anybody else thinks about you is none of your business. So can we, as long as we're living an authentic and life that's in alignment with ourselves, it doesn't really matter what anyone thinks, as long as we're not causing any harm, of course. So I thought I sat with that for a little bit, and I thought I'd take a little step further with today's class about, you know, we're all so different and we're all so unique, and not just in our physical appearance, but also in the way we think, even our core values. And a lot of it is how we're brought up as well. So, you know, what's normal for me, my learned behaviour might not be normal for someone else, and what's normal for them might not be normal for me. And I've come to this conclusion that, again, you know, as long as we're not causing any harm, and some of you may have read my poem yesterday on the ahimsa, as long as we're not causing any harm, can we just embrace all of our differences? You know, whether that's choices we make, very relevant in today's world, whether it's our thought patterns, whether it's the way we look, whether it's our behaviours, whether what our core values are different to the next person. If we, and I believe, if we truly embrace all of our differences with love, compassion and understanding, 3 key words, we can embrace our differences and we can still be okay. And the great thing is if we can embrace our differences, and I mean really embrace, not just give it lip service. My experience again is that we can learn a lot from other people. So today's class is about being unique, because we're all different, but also embracing other people's uniquenesses, if that's a word. So let's practice. Let's come into a seated posture, rocking from side to side just to get that sweet spot. And then planting the sit bones either on your mat, if you're on your mat, if you're over a proper bolster. If you need a support behind your back, then place a bolster or a cushion. Shut the eyes down or take that little half gaze down at your mat. And let's just come into our breath first. Let's try just to slow everything down as we fully ground at the beginning of the practice. And perhaps just take a moment, good time to contemplate what your core values are, what your truth is. Just noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale, just letting the shoulders perhaps just soften a little. Notice if there's any tension there. Notice the back of the neck, see if you can just lengthen it a little, lifting up through the crown of the head. And perhaps take that contemplation a little bit further. How do you react when other people perhaps don't agree with you, have different values to you? Whether you can listen with understanding and compassion, or whether it may produce a reaction within you. Again, no judgment, no wrong or right, we're just observing. Just take 3 breaths together. So really sweeping the breath in through the nose, lifting up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale either through the mouth or the nose, notice that dropping down, grounding of the sit bones. 2 more like that. So breathing in and breathing out. 1 more in your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. The shoulders just rest on top of the back. Keep the eyes shut if it's comfortable. Just shrug the shoulders up to the ears. A big letting go sigh as you drop them down. 2 more like that. Breathing in, really tensing first, and then softening as you breathe out. And then 1 more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Open the eyes if they're shut. Place the hands over the knees or the thighs. Take a breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you breathe out, drop the left shoulder forward. Lean the body forward and just take a gentle twist, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, push yourself back up. Exhale, other side, right shoulder drops forward, gazing over the left. 1 more in your own breath. So breathing in first, you lengthen. Breathing out, taking a little twist, maybe going a little deeper. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, over to the other side. Come back to a neutral posture. Breathe both arms up, interlace the fingertips. Take the breath in as you breathe out. Let's take a stretch to one side, emptying the breath. Inhale, you're reaching up. Exhale, over to the other side. 1 more on each side. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out, taking the stretch. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Again, the gaze can follow. As you exhale, left hand in front, right hand behind. Taking a breath in to lengthen, and as you breathe out, turn and gaze over that right shoulder. Another breath in, grow a little taller on the inhale, and maybe a deeper twist on the exhale, just stimulating all those internal organs. Everything comes back round to center. Float the arms up and over. We're taking a back bend. And as you exhale, take the twist on the other side, right hand in front, left hand behind. Breathing in to lengthen, breathing out, twisting. 1 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's bring everything all the way back around to center. Interlace the fingertips. Elbows wide. Let's take some circles of joy. Breathing in, hands up to your heart space. Take the breath in. As you breathe out, really feel the stretch in the arms as you push away and round the back. On the breath in, you're reaching all the way up. On the breath out, we're taking that stretch to one side. It doesn't matter which. Inhale, floating the arms back up. The gaze can be neutral or turn the gaze up. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up again. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the side. Interlace them behind you. Interlace the fingertips. Take a breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades. Open the heart as you gaze up. And as you exhale, again, that rounding and reaching forward of the arm as you guide everything back in. So we're doing 1 more round. Breathing in, absorb the breath. Breathing out, pushing away, rounding the back, feeling the stretch in the arm. Inhale, you're reaching up. Exhale, stretch to one side. As you stretch to one side, feel it in the opposite side. Breathing in, reaching up again. And breathing out, over to the other side. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sweeping out to the side, reaching behind you. Take a breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades, gaze up. And as you breathe out, sweeping the arms all the way in front and then all the way up. Take the breath in. As you breathe out, just drop the hands down by your side, uncross the legs and come onto all fours position. Just moving nice and slowly, making it a gentle start to your week. Drop the gaze. Stick the toes in. Knees are hip width distance, feet are hip width distance, palms are shoulder width distance. Rock backwards and forwards. So feeling that little pull in the hips as you rock back. Feeling the core engagement as you rock forward. Just warming the body up. Just noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. If we truly embrace it, being different and embracing everybody else's differences can be one of the beautiful things on this planet. Just take one more rock wherever you are. Come back to a neutral posture. You can keep the toes dug into the mat if it feels comfortable, or you can flatten off the feet if that's better for you. Take 3 cat-cow curls. So pressing the finger mounds onto the mat. On the breath in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. On the breath out, we're rounding and arching the back. Do a couple more in your own breath. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. One more. Breathing in. And letting the breath go. And then come back to a neutral posture. Widen the knees. You can stay on the toes or flatten the feet off. Drop the hips to heels. So like we're coming into an active child's pose. So come onto the finger mounds, drop the chest down. It's like a mix between child's pose and puppy pose. If it's too intense on the hips, bring the knees a little closer together. Really push the hips to the heels, feel that stretch in the spine, and creep the finger mounds to the front of the mat. Gaze it down so there's no straining in the neck. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. Take one more breath in. Engage the core as you lift the hips back up. Flatten the palms, bring the knees back to hip width distance, and then take one more cat-cow curl. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to a neutral posture, extend the right leg behind you. Just drop them on the toes. Dig the toes in, push out through the ball of the right foot. Feel that stretch in the left calf. Keep the gaze low, might prevent the elbows if the shoulders are tensing up. Take one more breath in. And then release that right leg up. Engage the core, both hands on the ground, or if you want a little more core, left arm reaches forward. Beautiful. So you're taking a balance, push the mat away with that right palm. Notice where your mind is right now. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, dropping everything back down. Take it on the other side. Left leg extends behind you just at hip height. Feel the stretch first. And then drop the foot down, land it on its toe, press into the finger mounds, push out through the left ball of the foot. Feel the stretch down the other leg, dropping the gaze. One more breath. Left leg extends up. Either stay with both hands on the ground, engage the core a little bit more, bring the right arm forward. Feel the whole spine lengthen. One more breath. And exhale, everything drops back down. Push the hands back towards the knees. Again, feet can be flat or you can be on the toes. Sweep the arms all the way up. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, wrap right arm under left, eagle arms. If that's too hard on your shoulders, opposite palms to opposite shoulders. On the breath in, reach the arms up and over. On the breath out, bringing the body down, tapping the finger mounds down to the mat if you can reach, or as low as you go. Breathing in, reaching up and over, feeling the stretch in the shoulder. Breathing out, letting the breath go as you come down. One more. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhale, reach both arms up. Release them from the stretch. Keep the left arm extended. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, right palm to right heel. We'll keep on the right side. Inhale, you're reaching up. Exhale, right palm to right heel, gaze over the right shoulder. One more. Breathing in. Notice your quality of your breath. And breathing out. Inhale, both arms reach up, make a prayer. As you exhale, bring the hands to your heart space, soft shoulders. Take that extra lean back if you want that quad stretch. Breathing in, reaching the arms up, perhaps a little back bend here. Exhale, hands to your heart space, either neutral or lean backward. This time, sweep the arms out to the side, reach all the way up, and wrap the arms around the other way. For me, left arm to right. Eagle arms or opposite palms to opposite shoulders. Good. Inhale, the arms reach up and over. Exhale, we're softening down, rounding the back finger mounds towards the mat. Breathing in, reaching up and over, feeling the stretch. Breathing out, coming all the way down. We're doing one more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, both arms reach up. We're releasing them from the stretch. This time the right arm remains extended. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, left palm to left heel, gaze over the left shoulder if it feels good. Breathing in, you're reaching up. Breathing out, over to the other side. One more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, both arms reach up. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take a swan dive down to your mat and come into puppy pose. Finger mounts to the edges of the mat, chest down, hips up. Noticing how that spine feels. Slow down your breath a little more. You're breathing in and you're breathing out. Know that our similarities bring us to a common ground. Our differences, if we allow them, let us be fascinated by each other and learn a little more wisdom. One more breath. Walk the hands all the way back. Let's come back onto all fours. You're welcome to stay on all fours or dig the toes in and come up to downward facing dog. Choose what's going to be nourishing for your body this morning. If you're in downward facing dog, widening through the collarbones, pushing the upper body back towards the thighs, just softening the back of the neck. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're on all fours, you can stay still, take some rocks or some cat-cow curls. Take one more breath in. On the inhale, lift the heels up if you're in downward facing dog, coming onto the toes. On the exhale, you're taking a step towards your palm, hanging in ragdoll, and if you're on your mat, join us here. Interlace opposite palms to opposite elbows. Drop the crown of the head towards the mat. You need to bend the knees, go ahead. Gentle rock or stillness. One more breath in. Can you let your differences shine? And can you allow other people's differences to shine without any judgment? Drop the hands down towards the mat. On the breath in, a halfway lift, shooting the spine forward. On the breath out, a forward fold, emptying the breath. On the inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Let the palms connect at the top. The gaze can follow. As you exhale, bring the hands to your heart space, emptying the breath completely. Breathing in, reach the arms up and over, taking a back bend. Breathing out, a swan dive down towards the mat. Empty the breath. A halfway lift and a forward fold. Inhale, the arms reach all the way up. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, hands to your heart space. Empty the breath. Inhale, reaching up and over. Exhale, down to the mat. Empty the breath. A halfway lift. And as you empty the breath, placing the hands on the mat, dropping down to your knees again. Just taking a cat-cow curl once you get there. Breath in, waist goes back, gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching the back. Come back to a neutral posture. Extend the right leg behind you, just at hip height. Keep equal weight in the palms. Bend that right knee and stack it over the left hip. So keeping that equal weight in the palms, so we're just peeling the hip open, not the whole body. Soften through the shoulders. Take one more breath in. Inhale, that right leg extends back behind you. And as you exhale, let's land it all the way through. Give it a helping hand if you need to. Hug the inner thigh so you feel nice and stable. And then on the inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingertips at the top. Pull up a little taller. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're lunging with that right knee. Arms come over to the right. So we're staying on the right side, getting into the left side of the body. Breathing in, use your leg strength to reach up. Breathing out, taking that stretch down the side, empty the breath. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, both arms reach up again. As you exhale, split the fingertips, drape the left arm over the right knee, right hand comes behind. Take a breath in to lengthen, and as you breathe out, you're taking a twist to the right. You can keep the gaze in front or turn and gaze over the right shoulder. Notice your breath, notice your jaw, beautiful. One more breath in. Bring everything all the way back round to center. Both arms reach up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, come down and frame that front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, lift the leg up. Get stable first, and then once you're stable, windmill up to warrior two. Right arm in front, left arm behind. Make those little micro adjustments that you need to. Flip the front palm, let's reverse. Reaching up and over on the breath in. And as you breathe out back through warrior two. A couple more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. One more. Breathing in and letting the breath go. And then sun warrior, so reversing the hands. On the breath in, the back hand reaches forward and up. The front hand pushes back and you straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, soften the knees and the shoulders, come back to warrior two. That's it. Inhaling, reaching up, lengthening. Exhaling, softening, arms extend. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. The back hand comes to meet the front hand. Guide the hands into prayer. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're taking a twist to the right. If you want gentle, stay upright. If you want a little deeper, pivot on the ball of the back foot. Lean forward. Left elbow over right thigh. Palms can be together, or you can open up your twist. Decide what's nourishing for you, but don't tighten the jaw. Keep the breath flowing freely. One more breath. Palms come back together to the front. Inhale, reach up. Focus your eye gaze on one spot. As you exhale, come down and frame that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. Scoot it to the back of the mat, and then just ease the back knee down. Flatten off the back foot. Press into the left hand. Let's breathe the right arm up. Gentle twist. Gaze can be up or down. Reach up nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, wrap that right arm around the back. Lunge with the right knee. Gaze can be in front, or you can twist and gaze behind you if you want to go a bit deeper. Breathing in, a subtle lengthening. Breathing out, you might want to twist a little more. One more breath. On your next inhale, reach the arm back up, bring the body to face the front of the mat, and as you exhale, place the hand on the inner edge of the right foot. So we're opening up the hips. If you're feeling a little tender, keep the foot in the middle. For more, the foot comes to the right edge of the mat. Use any props if you need to, or come down a little lower onto your mat onto your forearms. And then just let the breath do the work to open up the hips. We'll be here for a little while. So moving in a way that feels nourishing for your body. Again, notice if the mind is getting pulled in different directions. Accepting differences is when you can recognize and respect people who are different to you, but at the same time also embrace their differences and perhaps see what you can learn from them. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else. Notice how this hip's feeling, notice how the leg's feeling. Is there any tenderness or tightness? Maybe just deepen the breath cycle a little bit more. Couple more breaths here. Rock onto the side of that right foot. And if you're on your forearms, coming back onto your palms, pigeon-toeing that right foot back to the center of the mat. Coming onto the ball of the back foot, lifting the leg up, pushing out through the ball of the back foot, and then just straightening that front leg to your degree. It doesn't have to be straight. On the breath in, halfway lift, and on the breath out, you're floating the crown of the head towards that front leg. So if the hamstrings are tight, just bend the knees a little more. Inhale, a subtle lengthening. Exhale, perhaps floating down a little bit more. One more breath. And then lunge with that right knee. Push out through the ball of the back foot. Take a breath in, glance at the top of the mat. As you breathe out, you're stepping forward and hanging in ragdoll as soon as you get there. You feel one hip stretched out. Drop the crown of the head. A gentle rock from side to side. Slow down your breath a little bit more. Inhaling and exhale. One more breath. Drop the hands down towards the mat. If you need a bit of height, use a block. Left hand stays on the mat. Left knee pushes forward towards the left elbow. Right hip pushes back. The right arm can extend up, or you can just keep it down. You can gaze at that top thumb or keep the gaze down at the mat. Keep pushing the right hip back and the left knee forward, feeling the stretch down the right leg. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, we're swapping over. Right knee pushes towards the right elbow. Left hip pushes up, back, and left arm reaches up. Feel the stretch down the other leg from the glute all the way down. One more breath. Do one more on each side. So on the exhale, the left hand comes down. Left knee pushes forward. Right arm reaches up. If you wanted another stretch, lift the toes of that right foot up so you're on the heel and you feel a different stretch again. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, swap it over. Right palm comes down, right knee pushes forward, left hip pushes back, left arm up, and you can come onto the heel of the left foot. One more breath. Exhale, left hand comes down. Take a breath in, come into a halfway lift. As you breathe out, a forward fold. On the inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, interlace the fingertips. On the exhale, take that side stretch again, equal weight in the feet. Breathing in, reaching up, breathing out, over to the other side. One more on each side. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, taking the stretch. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, both arms reach up again. As you exhale, make a prayer at your heart space. Empty the breath. Breathing in, the arms reach up and over. As you breathe out, take a swan dive down to the mat. Empty the breath. a halfway lift, a nice flat back. And as you empty the breath, place the hands on the mat, bring the knees wide, drop back into child's pose for a moment. Hips to heels, arms can stretch out in front, or you can bring the hands down by your heels if that's better for your shoulders, if they're feeling a little tense. Just slow down your breath a little bit more again. Know that we might have different religions, we might have different languages, we might have different coloured skin, we might have different thoughts and beliefs. But can we, at the core, remember that we all belong to one human race? Can we show love, compassion, and understanding to humanity? Take one more breath in. Walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Come onto the finger mounts, make it a little bit more active. Creep the finger mounts to the right as the hips push to the left. Feel the stretch down that left side. Keep the gaze low so there's no straining in the back of the neck. Take a breath in, let the breath go. And then walking the hands through the center over to the left side. Staying on the finger mounts if it feels nourishing. Walking the finger mounts to the left as the hips push to the right. Getting the stretch down the right side. One more breath. And then coming back to center, creeping the finger mounts to the front of the mat and pushing the hips to the back of the mat. Keep again the gaze low. We're not stretching the neck, we're just stretching the spine and the hip. One more breath. And then place the palms flat on the mat. Slide them back towards you as you lift the hips up. Bring the knees back to hip width distance. Take 2 cat-cow curls here. Inhaling in, pushing the waist back as you gaze up. Exhaling, rounding and arching. One more. Breathing in and letting the breath go. Coming back to neutral posture. This time the left leg extends behind you. Take a breath in, equal weight in the palms, soften through the shoulders. On your next exhale, bend the left knee and stack it over the right hip. So again, just peeling the hip open, not twisting the whole body by giving equal weight in the palm. And rotate that left ankle one way and then the other way. One more breath here. Left leg extends back behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, landing it all the way through. Hugging the inner thighs together to get stable first. And then once you feel that stability, breathing both arms up. Good, interlacing the fingertips at the top. Take a breath in as you pull up a little taller. As you breathe out, lunging with the left knee, arms come to the left. You're doing 2 more. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, taking the stretch to the left. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, both hands come up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, right palm or right arm drapes around left thigh, left hand behind. We're taking a breath into left, and then as you breathe out, take a twist. Either keeping the gaze neutral or turning gaze over that left shoulder. One more breath, keep the breath flowing. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Everything comes back round to center. Float both arms up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, come down and frame that front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, lift the leg up. Let's get stable first by pressing the foot into the mat and then windmilling the hands up for warrior 2 on the other side. Softness in the shoulders. Flip that front palm. On the breath in, we're reversing, reaching up and over. On the breath out, back through, warrior 2. Inhale, reaching up and over. Exhale, warrior 2. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Let's reverse the arms on the breath in. Back hand reaches forward and up, front hand pushes back, and we straighten the front leg. Exhale, softness in the shoulders and the knees as we come back to starting position. 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Beautiful. Back hand comes to meet the front hand. Guide the hands back to your heart space. Take a breath into lengthen, and as you breathe out, we're twisting over to the left, either staying upright with that back foot grounded or pivoting on the board of the back foot, lunging a little more. Body comes forward, right elbow over left thigh, palms together, or you can open up the hands. Keep everything steady, the breath, perhaps even the eye gaze, the mind. 1 more breath. If the palms are apart, bring them back together, bring everything back to the front of the mat. The arms reach up, keep the eye gaze focused, and as you exhale, come down and frame that front foot. If you haven't already, pivot on the ball of the back foot, scoot it to the back of the mat, and then drop the back knee down, flatten off the back foot. Right hand stays on the mat, the left arm reaches up. Gentle twist. Eye gaze up or down at the mat. Take 1 more breath, reach up a little taller, and as you exhale, wrap the left arm around the back. Lunge with that left knee, take a breath in. As you breathe out, if you want to deepen the twist, turn and gaze over the left shoulder. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. 1 more breath. Left arm reaches up, the body comes back to face the front of the mat. And as you exhale, come down to the inner edge of the left foot. So let's open up the other side, either keeping the foot in the middle or bringing the foot out to the left a little bit more, dropping down lower, or using any props. And then rocking side to side, backwards and forwards, coming onto the side of the foot. Again, if the breath has become a little bit choppy, just slow it down, let it become steady again. That our greatest strength, I believe, as a human race, is our ability to acknowledge our differences. Or even not just acknowledge them, but even understand. That's our greatest strength as a human race. Our greatest weakness, on the other hand, is our failure to embrace those differences and our failure to understand them. Especially in any partnership, whether that be a friendship, whether that be a romantic relationship, or even a work relationship. If we want that relationship to last, I believe, will be filled with love. The key aspect is to embrace and appreciate one another's differences. 1 more breath. If you're on your forearms, coming back onto your palm, pigeon toeing the left foot back to the center of the mat so the palms are framing in. You're coming onto the ball of the back foot, lifting the leg up. Taking that stretch as you straighten the left leg this time. Again, just to your degree, it doesn't have to be straight. A breath in, almost like you're taking a halfway lift, and as you breathe out, you're floating nose to knee. So again, if your hamstrings are tight, might bend the knee a little bit more. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling, bringing nose to knee. 1 more breath. Lunging with that left knee, pushing out through the ball of the back foot. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Let's step forward and we're back in ragdoll. Just take a few breaths here, making the feet roughly hip-width distance or wider if you need a bigger base for support. Really dropping the crown of the head towards the mat. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath. On the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. On the breath in, let's sweep the arms all the way up. As you breathe out, bend the knees into seated chair. Drop the tailbone down and push the arms out to the side. On the inhale, sweeping forward, we're gathering up, palms facing up. We rise again on the inhale, the gaze can follow. And on the exhale, flipping the palms, pushing everything all the way down to our side. Float the arms behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades. Take a breath in, ground with the feet, but push the arms all the way up. As you exhale, bending the knees, pushing the arms out to the side. On the inhale, hinging forward from the hips, lifting all the way up. And as you exhale, flipping the palms and pushing everything all the way down both sides. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, let them go. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. You can either make a prayer at your heart space or just catch hold of your hip flexors. We're grounding with the left foot, and feel free to hold on to a wall or a support. And we're bringing the right ankle over the left knee. So it's a little balance, but if you feel like you need to hold on to something, you can do this with the right arm holding on to something. So right ankle over left knee, and you're pushing out through the sole of that right foot. That's important to get the hip flexion. Curl the toes back, and then we just start to sink down. So if you're in a balance, or even if you're not in a balance, keep the eye gaze focused. Like you imagine a chair underneath your sit bone. Come down as low as you want to feel it in the hip flexor. You're inhaling and you're exhaling, maybe a little lower. One more breath. And then on the inhale, you're rising all the way back up, releasing the right knee back up, and then bringing the two big toes together. Float the arms behind you, the legs are straight. Take a deep inhale as you reach up and over. And as you exhale, palms come to the right, squeeze the knees and the thighs together as the eye gaze goes to the right. Breathing in, reaching up and over, breathing out, over to the other side. One more on each side. Inhale, reaching up and over. Exhale, taking the stretch, last one. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, either hands in prayer or you're catching those hip flexors again. And then let's take it on the other side. So weights in the right foot, we're bringing left ankle over the right knee. We'll do the opposite if you've done this. Curling the toes back, getting that initial hip flexion, and then if we're wanting a little more of the hip, sinking down. Trying to keep length through the crown of the head still. And again, holding on to something if that's more nourishing for you. Taking a few more breaths, sinking down, maybe a little lower, forward. One more breath, and then straightening the legs, releasing the left knee. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just drop the feet a little wider than the hip width and fan the toes out to roughly 45 degrees. On the breath in, release the arms all the way up. The gaze can follow, the fingertips meet at the top. And as you breathe out, soften the knees out to the side like you're coming into a squat, empty the breath. And then at the end of the exhale, just fold forward, empty completely. Breathing in, straightening the legs, sweeping the arms all the way up. Fingertips connect. Exhale, coming down into your squat, hands to your heart space, and then fold the body forward, empty completely. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. Folding forward. Rest your hands on the mat and split the feet a little wider. You might want to come side on your mat. Drop the crown of the head. On the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. Walk the hands over to the right foot. Wrap the left arm or palm around the right ankle. Extend the right arm. So we're taking a twist. If that's too much, the right arm can stay down by your side and just take a twist. Take your breath in, reach up nice and tall. As you breathe out, right hand comes back down. Come back through center first. Before you go to the left side, on the inhale, a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. Walk the hands over to the left ankle. Right arm wraps around the shin or the ankle. Left arm either stays by your side or extends up. Eye gaze down at the mat or up at that top thumb if you want your next stretch. One more breath. And then exhale, coming back down. Hands come back through center. Take a breath in a neutral. As you breathe out, take a lunge with that right knee. Keep the left leg straight. Inhale, back through to center. Exhale, over to the other side. Lunge with the left knee. Keep the right leg straight. Inhale, back to center. One more on each side. Exhale, taking the stretch. Inhale to center. Last one. Exhale, over to the other side. Come back to center. Pigeon toe the feet so that they're hip width distance. On the breath in, a halfway lift. On the breath out, a forward fold. On the inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. On the exhale, hands to your heart space. Empty the breath. Breathing in, reaching up and over, slowing down the breath. Take it back. Breathing out, down to your mat, emptying the breath completely. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. And as you empty the breath, hands come onto the mat. Bring the knees wide again. Two big toes together. Let's drop into child's pose just for a few breaths. You can bring the arms in front. If you want a little stretch of the shoulders, make a prayer and place it upside down prayer at the nape of the neck. Or you can bring the hands down by your heels. You decide what's nourishing for you. And then tune into your breath. When you truly embrace your own differences and are not scared of what anyone else thinks of you, from my experience, you have reached a dangerous level of freedom. And that's what you can give someone else as well. When you truly embrace their differences and are not threatened or don't judge anyone else, also giving yourself and the other person a level of freedom. Take one more breath in. Press down into the palms, engage the core, lift the hips all the way back up. Bring the knees back to hip width distance. Let's take two cat cow curls together in your own breath, pushing the waist back on the breath in and rounding and arching on the breath out. One more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Coming back to a neutral posture, swinging the ankles out to the side. Just extending the legs down onto the mat. Pushing out through the soles of the feet. Just making sure the sit bones are fully grounded. On the breath in, push out through the soles of the feet. On the breath out, point the toes away from you, feeling a little stretch in the calf. Inhale, heels dug in, push out through the soles of the feet. Exhale to push away. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. And then dig the heels in, lift the toes up, push out through the soles of the feet. On the breath in, just floating the arms all the way up. On the breath out, engaging the core, not your back, as you start to curl back. Keep pushing out through the soles of the feet. On the inhale, use your core, rise up nice and slowly, take a breath in. As you start to lean back on the inhale, scoop the arms over to the right, getting into the different muscles. Inhale again, using your core, reaching up. Exhale over to the left as you lean back, good. Breathing in, reach up. And this time as you breathe out, we're coming all the way down. So use your core, your back starts to take the strain, you just drop onto your forearm. Lower yourself down gently. Once the upper body's landed, bring those knees in for a squeeze. Place the palms on the kneecaps and just make some circles, just starting off little circles and then making them bigger, almost pushing the knees away from you, the length of the arm. Noticing how that relates to your lower back, and then sweep it round in the opposite direction. Keeping the breath nice and even. One more breath. And then extending both legs up towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch. Placing your hands either around the ankles, some of you may be able to hold on to the big toes, pushing out through the soles of the feet, just feeling that stretch down the whole leg. Take a breath in, let the breath go. You can either stay here or split the legs out into a wide-legged straddle, pushing the soles, still pushing out through the soles of the feet. If you need to adjust your hands, you can place them on the inner thigh. Just feeling that stretch, the whole of the inner part of the legs. Try and keep pushing the tailbone down towards the mat. Take a breath in, let the breath go. Gently guide the two big toes together. Guide the knees back into the chest. Drop the feet down onto the mat and bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees just fall out to the side. Make sure the back is on the mat. You can place one hand on your heart or on your belly, or just have your hands down by your side. Try and consciously slow down your breath, perhaps even just using some counts as you inhale for 1, 2, 3. A little pause before the inhale turns into the exhale for 1, 2, 3. Maybe just do a few rounds of slower, deeper breaths, increasing the count if it feels okay for you. Just notice the parts of your body, take a quick scan from the crown of the head down to the tips of your toes. Any part that doesn't feel relaxed or is subconsciously holding tension. Just try and soften those parts, the back of the neck, the shoulder. Taking a breath in, letting the breath go. Softening the body a little bit more. One more breath. And very gently bring the knees back up. Just pigeon toe the feet out so that they're hip width distance. Drop the hands down by your sides, palms facing down. On the breath in, let's sweep the arms behind you. On the breath out, place the hands down by your side, pushing into the palms and the feet coming up for bridge pose. Holding it for a full inhale and an exhale. On your next inhale, push up a little higher. And then on your exhale, just gently, just lowering everything down with control. Empty the breath fully. Soften the sit bones. Breathing in, the arms reach back. Breathing out, hands down by your side, pressing into your palms and the feet as you lift all the way up. Just arching the back. If you want to take it further, roll the shoulder blades under, interlace the fingertips, press the knuckles into the mat as you push yourself up a little bit more. Holding this one for 3, 2, 1, and then very gently just start to lower yourself all the way down. Extending both legs down onto the mat.
Or we take a twist. Let's take a full body stretch. Reach back with the fingertips, point the toes, take a full inhale in, and let the breath go. Bring the right knee in for a squeeze. Reach the right arm out to the side. Use your left palm. Let's take a twist over to the left, gazing to the right. Slowing everything down a little bit more. Deep inhale in. Long exhale. One more breath, breathing in and breathing out. Rotating that right knee back, extending the leg back down. Maybe let's take another full body stretch in between. A deep breath in as you reach back and point with the toe. A long exhale out as we soften the body. Let's bring the left knee in for a squeeze. The left arm comes out to the side. Take a twist over to the right. Gaze to the left perhaps. Noticing any difference in this side of the body as you breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. And then gently rotating that left knee back, extending the leg back down, reaching back again with the fingertips, pointing the toes. Give the ankles and wrists a little rotation one way and then the other. And then let's finish off with a full body stretch, a deep inhale in as you feel the body stretch and tense. And as you take your exhale, just prepare and soften the body for the final resting pose, getting comfortable wherever you're at. And I'll guide you when it's time to come back in. Allow the mind just to be that observer. If the thoughts start to come in, and just allow the body to completely rest.
Notice your next inhale, notice your next exhale. Not feeling the need to move, but just allow the senses to start to awaken, perhaps a sense of hearing. Know that it's not our differences that divide us, it's our inability to recognise, accept and celebrate those differences. That's what causes division. As you take your next inhale and your next exhale, perhaps bring the knees in for a squeeze, rolling over to one side. If you prefer to lay down as you are, then please stay there. Just take a pause on your side for a moment. Perhaps noticing all the people in your life that are perhaps a little different in their views and their beliefs and their actions. What if differences were to enrich our lives rather than to divide? If you're coming up to seated, just make your way there now. If you're lying down, stay where you are. If you're coming up to seated, perhaps keeping that eye gaze still within. Letting the body ground softly with the sit bones and then let the rest of the body softly follow. Let's take a collective breath together, a deep inhale in through the nose, a big letting go sigh out the mouth. Bring our hands to our heart space as we seal our practice. Know that the beauty of this world, I believe, lies in the diversity of its people. Can we show love unconditionally? Can we listen to understand? And above all, in our actions, can they be from a place of compassion? The ability to reach unity in diversity, I believe, will be the beauty, but also the test of humanity. I'll leave that one with you. Namaste.